tie it this way. Set it this side. You grab the back, you tie it. Hello everyone, it's the girl Amabu, and you are welcome to my YouTube channel, Starting with Amabu. For today's class, for today's lesson, I would like to teach you how to cut that short. And for the measurement, we're needing our length. My own length is 15 inches. The waist is 30. My hip is 38. Front flap is 24. The hem is 23. The crotch or the flap is the clutch. The crotch, let me say crotch so that you're not confused. Crotch is hip divided by 4 plus 10 inches. And let's get into the cutting proper. We'll first measure our starting point, which is which can serve as the joining to half inch. Let's just measure half inch here, half inch, half inch. And you now draw it out. We draw it out. I love using marker for you guys, so it should be clearer for you guys to see. Now, our length is 15 inches. From here, we'll measure 15 inches. We'll still add our hemming allowance. We'll measure 15 inches. We'll measure our 15 inches. We now measure our crotch length. Remember, it's a high waist short. So when measuring, we measure 1 inch from 1 inch above your client's navel. So where you want the length to stop. Now our crotch is our hip. Our hip is 38 divided by our crotch. Normally is hip divided by 4. But because it's a high waist, that's why I added these 3 inches. So our 38 divided by 4 is 9.5. 9.5 plus 3 inches is 12.5 inches. Now we now measure our 12.5 for our length. Draw it out. Now mark it, just mark it here. Okay. Now we're gotten our crotch length, which is 12.5, as you can see. Now to get our crotch depth, we'll divide our hip by 16. When I divided my own, which is 38 divided by 16, it gave me 2.37. I approximated it to 2.4. 2.4. How much is my pencil? 2.4. I'll measure it up to the crotch length. Just very well. 2.4. All the way to this waist. Yeah. And now join it with my ruler. 2.4. Out to this waist. Now measure. You don't know how to use free hand to guide you. Maybe measure 1 or 2 inches from here. Now drop it back. So the crotch. Now from here, we now measure our waist from here, from this line. Extend it in space. From this line, we now measure our waist. Our waist is 30 divided by 4. We have 7.5. 7.5 inches here. Now from that place now to my hip is 9 inches because it's a high waist. 9 inches, not it up. 9 inches. For your hip circumference, you divide your hip by 4. I divided mine and it gave me 9.5, which is here. For your round flap, 1 inch or 2 inches below the crotch length. My own is 24, which is 12 inches. Now to measure the hip, to measure the midpoint for this my short, I'll now divide this into 2, and it will give me 6 inches. I'll mark 6 inches from here. I'll mark 6 inches from here up to the hem, up to the starting point. Sorry, this will serve as a guideline so that my trouser will be straight. Now I've drawn that guideline or middle point from the waist to the hemline. From the waist to the hemline. Let me just do this. And this is the midpoint. That is dividing your round flap to get the midpoint. Now this midpoint is very useful when you want to get your knee, assuming that this is not a short like a trouser. When you want to get your knee and your hemline, and in this case, you want to use it to get the hemline. Now for the hem circumference, my own hem circumference is 23 inches. I divided it by 2 and not by 4. Divided by 2, it gave me 11.5. If I place 11.5 here, it will give me about maybe 5.5 or so on each part. So I'll measure 5.5 here. So it gave me 5.75, but I'll make it 5.5. I'll measure 5.5 here, 5.5 here, and 5.5 on this side. I'll now draw it this way, like this. I hope you're seeing it clearly. Now draw it from here. Then this side, now draw it from here. I think this is all for the front line. Front line. I don't need to add the darts because you want to get this style. You can use any material, but I prefer a stretching material. You will now make an opening. I will show you how to make the opening. But let's cut the back first. Let's cut this one out, then cut the back. Now remember to add your allowance. I do not add the sewing allowance. Remember to add your allowance on your material when cutting. I will cut it this way. Cut it. Also, before you start cutting, from this place, you come down by 1 inch and slide it into this. Sure, into this like this. Like slant it. I'll add this one in back to the back part. And cut it. I added the hemming allowance. Remember to add the allowance on the material. Cut it this way. Now this is for the front part. Let's cut the back. Now for the back part, place the front part on top of it. Now I measured 2.4 for the crunch depth and added ½ inch for sewing it. Then for the back crunch depth, I'll still measure out 2.4 out. I'll come down by ½ inch for the crunch back length. Come down by ½ inch. Draw it. Now you come out by, or you measure your hip. You say you divide your hip by 8 for the back crunch depth. Then you now extend the crunch to this waist. And you now take it back to the hem like this. I don't know if you're seeing this. You now take it back to the hem like this. Now take it back to the hem. Now having done that, for the upper part of the brush, remember I will remove the 1 inch from here. You make sure you have like 2 inches or 2.5 at the top of it. Then you add back that 1 inch plus another 1 inch. That is 2 inches. You now extend this brush. Just extend it. You have our 2 inches like this. Extend it to straight. It is straight. Now we have our 2 inches, which now, okay, when you have gotten this, when you must have gotten this, You now go in by half an inch or 0.75. You now measure, just draw it out. You go in by now from this line you go in by 1 inch. You go in by 1 inch so that the back will relax very well. Go in by 1 inch. And now extend this to this line. You now extend this to extend it to the crotch depth. Do not come out too much so that it will not be entering your bum bum. You measure like 1.5 inch from here. Measure like 1.5 inch. Then follow that step. Now draw it. Then this 1 inch that you went in with, you now replace it at this side. When you have replaced it, that 2 inches that you came up with, you now join it back to this 1 inch like this. Now join it back, and you now go back into the hip line like this. To the hip line like this. After cutting it out, we will then cut out our hemming. And now cut out that hole that is at this side. Now let's cut it out. Now twist it so that you will bring out the front part and then cut it.